guys, so today we're going to be talking about the brand new DIOR Backstage Glow Face Palette in the colorway Glitz. It's this guy right here. I'm not sure if this is widely available yet. I purchased this at the DIOR boutique here at Caesar's Palace, the forum shops there. And as I understand it, it is there. It is also at the DIOR Beauty Boutique in New York City. So just a little backstory. I just spent my last weekend in Toronto with Refer Brushes. What an amazing team, but more to come on that later. But I got to meet Kinky Sweat. That is Alicia. Her channel is Kinky Sweat. Her Instagram handle is Kinky Sweat. And I've had a very long time girl crush on her. And I finally got to meet her. And she is everything I dreamed she would be and more. She is so amazing. She's so warm. Just a really, really sweet, nice person. And I was so happy that I got to meet her, hang out with her, even if it was just for a really brief moment in time. We did a little shopping. There may be a collab coming. Keep an eye out for that. And she had mentioned that she picked up this palette. And I thought, gosh, I don't think that's available at Sephora yet. And she's the one that told me it was available at the DIOR Beauty Boutiques. And I told her, wow, there's one in Vegas. I wonder if it's there. So anyway, we got home from our Toronto trip and she texted me and she said, by the way, I asked, this is available at the Las Vegas boutique if you're interested. And so sweet. I mean, so sweet, so thoughtful. So anyway, thank you so much to Alicia for tipping me off on this palette. I, of course, ran to the Caesars boutique, picked this up, and I had the first one, the one that came out when they launched this whole Backstage line. It had like a white kind of powder and then like a really kind of bright pink powder over here. I can't remember. I had it, but I decluttered it because it just really wasn't for me. I'm not really into a highlight with a lot of micro glitter in there, and then the colors on top of it really didn't speak to me. So when I saw this palette, I thought this color story definitely suits me, suits my aesthetic, suits my skin tone a little bit better. And I was thinking I could definitely kind of get past the micro glitter situation that we have in these two powders. So here is a close look at this palette. So we have a glitter strobe gold at the top left, a glitter strobe pink gold at the top right, and then we have peach and then bronze on the bottom. And now let's go ahead and take a look at some swatches. So again, I have the glitter strobe gold and pink gold on the left, and then I have peach and bronze on the right. So yes, the two top glitter strobe, I mean, it even has the word glitter in the name, glitter strobe powders on the top do have very fine micro glitters in there. So I have all of these products on my cheeks right now, but we'll go ahead and get into the demo and how I applied it on my cheeks in just a bit. But these two have little bits of micro glitter in here. This peach shade is probably the smoothest, most satiny shade out of these four. And then this bronze is kind of similar to this peach in that I think it has the same formula as the base. It has a very kind of like satin sheen, but then there's like little kind of like coppery bronze reflex in there. So it's not quite as micro glittery as these two, but there's a little bit more going on in this bronze powder than there is in this peach. So in my demo, what I'll do is kind of talk you through the bronze color that I put kind of in like my bronzer areas, how I kind of layered the peach on top. And then here I place the glitter strobe gold powder. And then on this side, I place the glitter strobe pink gold powder. Before we jump into the demo, I just want to mention I'm not going to be doing any comparison swatches with this palette. I don't really, like I mentioned, I don't really have a lot of highlighters that are micro glittery, so I don't really have anything similar to these two. And then these colors are actually fairly unique for me. This bronze color is much more metallic than a lot of the bronzers that I have, even the more sheeny ones. This one has a lot more going on. This is actually a little bit more similar to maybe like an eyeshadow I would wear versus a bronze that I would put on my face. And then this color is actually very, very unique for me. I really don't have much in my collection like this peach. But if there is anything specific that you want to see, if you want me to compare the bronze or any of the powders in here to maybe something that you know that I have in my collection, just let me know down below in the comment section. I will try and put comparison swatches up for you in my community tab here on YouTube. I'm going to be traveling a lot over the next 2 weeks, so I apologize if I can't get to it, but definitely let me know down below in the comment section if there is one, and I will try and get to it. So why don't we go ahead and jump into the demo right now. All right, so I'm going to go into the bronze powder first, and I'm using my Chikuhodo GSN 4 brush, which is squirrel hair, because this bronzer is more sheeny. It has a little bit more of like a reflect in there than I'm used to in terms of like a bronzer contour kind of situation. I thought I'd go in light, so that's why I'm using this brush. I'm gonna just dip it into the pan here, and I'm gonna apply it in like buffing motions, really gently. And what I noticed about this particular bronzer is I don't think it appears on my skin quite as glowy and quite as metallic as when I swatched it. I don't know if it's because I'm using just, you know, a little amount. I don't know if it's because I'm buffing it in, but I definitely don't feel like it has, you know, quite as much of a metallic reflect as my swatch did, which is a relief. And I should mention, if you are curious about this palette on a deeper skin tone, definitely check out Alicia's channel. It's Kinky Sweat. I'll either put it on the screen here or I'll link to it down below in my description box. But she has, I want to say like a medium skin tone. All right, there it is on my cheeks. I'm going to go ahead and brush some across my forehead just so you guys can see it kind of like straight on in a like bigger plane on my face. And it definitely has a metallic sheen. I just don't think it is quite as pronounced as my swatch made it out to be. So there it is on my forehead. You can probably see, well, you can definitely see my lines, but you can definitely see a little bit more of the metallic sheen in the powder there. All right, next I'm going to use this peach powder, and initially I thought maybe I could use it as a blush, but it is definitely too light for that, at least on my skin tone. So it actually makes for a really nice kind of subtle highlight. So what I'm going to do is apply it where I would apply blush, but it just kind of softens up this whole bronzer area. I think you can see that already. It just adds a really nice, pretty, soft satin sheen. And I'm using a Wang number 13 brush, and this has a really nice kind of round shape to it, so it really just kind of buffs the product in nicely. All right, so there is the peach on my skin, and I think if I was going for a more subtle, I wouldn't call this a subtle look, but a more subtle look, I would probably stop right there. These two glitter strobe highlights will definitely amp up this look a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the Glitter Strobe Pink Gold to my left cheek here. I'm using my Sonia G Sculpt 3 brush. And I'm just going to lightly pat that on and then work it in a bit. All right, I just washed this brush off, and now I'm going to go into the Glitter Strobe Gold powder, and I'm going to apply that to my right cheek. All right, so there's the gold, and then there's the pink gold. So these definitely have a micro glitter in there. If you're not into glittery highlights, these are definitely not going to be for you. And then here is the gold, same deal, micro glitters in there. So I see a slight kind of pinky hint there, but I think they do look very similar on the skin tone. I think it's because these two powders are a little bit more on the sheer side. You can almost use them like as a topper because they are so sheer. I generally am not a fan of Dior highlighters because of this micro glitter, but I wanted to try out this palette because I really did like the tones in here. I really liked the tones of all four of the powders in here, but I have to say I do feel like the micro glitters are gonna bother me because I kind of just see them all over my face. I don't know if the lighting will catch it, but I kind of just see micro glitters all over, and that's sort of what happens, and that's why I'm not the biggest fan of it. But I really like these two products down here. I think that they're really pretty on the skin. I especially like this peach. I think this is going to make a really nice, pretty kind of satiny highlight. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, please let me know down below in the comments section if there's any powder in here that you would like me to compare with anything I have in my collection. I hope I can get around to it. I will definitely try, and I'll post it to my community tab. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.